I'm Eli Attie. I'm a writer and a co-executive producer on the show, and the writer of the second episode of the 7th season, which is called Selfish. My initial idea for the teaser was actually pretty different. I had wanted to set the teaser at a debate tournament, and I was talking about it with one of my colleagues here on the show, and he had seen this viral video, skaters in an indoor skate park, inline skaters, and the camera followed the skaters seemingly inches behind as they went up ramps and did stunts on what's called a street course. I sent the video to Greg Utanis, our in-house producing director. Unbeknownst to me, Greg then called the guy who had actually shot the original viral video. Suddenly we're flying him out and he's shooting large portions of our teaser, and it was amazing. I was trying to think of a story that had a lot of inherent emotion, and I immediately thought of the movie Sophie's Choice, of parents having to choose one child over another. That sort of led me to the idea of one child being gravely ill and needing a body part of the other child, and a lung is something that's incredibly hard to get. Generally, on our show, when House solves the medical puzzle, the episode's over. In this case, House comes up with a final diagnosis for the patient at the end of the 4th act out of 6, and then we had another 2 acts of really a treatment dilemma, which we don't do a lot on the show, and I thought it was interesting to be able to get into those arguments and show how that also really throws a wrench in House and Cuddy's relationship. This is new territory for House. He's trying to actually sustain a real relationship. It's interesting to see him have to take another person into account and think about things other than how to achieve his medical objective, which is usually all he cares about. It was also interesting developing the different team members' attitudes toward House and Cuddy's relationship. Everyone's reaction on the team, Chase, Foreman, and Taub, really says much more about them than about House or Cuddy. But certainly in the case of Chase and Taub, they're just too self-focused and too self-absorbed for their reaction to be anything other than a comment on their own lives, and House sees through that right away. One of my absolute favorite things about this episode, the 2 elderly clinic patients. We just had a lot of fun, in the writing of those scenes, working with those actors. All the stories in this episode, the patient story, the House and Cuddy story, and that clinic story, sort of revolve around this theme of selfishness and the fact that it's actually good to be selfish, and that in relationships, if we're not being a little selfish and expressing and taking care of our own needs, we can't really successfully be with another person. And so it was fun to play that out in each different story.